Just a thought. Romans chapter 13, verses 1 to 4, with special emphasis on verse 4. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained or established by God. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the ordinance or the arrangement of God. And they who resist shall receive to themselves judgment. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Will you then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and you shall have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to you for good. But if you do that which is evil, be afraid, for he bears not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him who practices evil. Human government established by God. We saw this in Genesis chapter 8 under Noah and his family. After the flood, God gave them that authority to carry on business on earth for him. And governments established by God are expected to maintain law and order, to promote, to uphold that which is good and right in the sight of God, but also to punish the evil and the evildoer. In the first instance with Noah and his family, we find failure coming in. Noah becoming drunk, not able to even control himself, far less society. And this has been the trend over the centuries, all the way down to 2021, where we see governments failing to uphold that which is good and right. As a matter of fact, we have governments that are now calling good evil and evil good, calling light darkness and darkness light, and giving sanction to all kinds of lawlessness and abominations. When this happens, beloved, when there is a failure in this regard, it will lead to all kinds of societal ills, the increase in crime and violence. Eventually, it will lead to the very downfall of the nation itself. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 34 tells us, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. Oh, that governments will learn this principle. Oh, that we who are the people of God will practice righteousness, right living before God and before man. The powers that be, they are the minister of God to you for good, those who practice good, but also he's a minister of God, a revenger or an avenger to execute wrath upon the one who is practicing evil. We who are the children of God have a responsibility towards the powers that be. Let us heed the exhortation, beloved, and continue to do that which is good in the sight of God and in the sight of our fellow men.